Hey y'all, welcome to episode 4 of What I Learned Today. So, this one is called Legacy because I think it's important that we take a look at legacy. I know that legacy played an important role in me being and doing the things that I've done with my life. So, legacy for me is a timeline. It consists of those that came before me and influenced me genetically as well as from a societal standpoint. And it also influences, and then I think about legacy with what comes after me, like what part do I play and what do I leave on this and in this timeline of life on earth, right? So for me, deciding to be a doctor of clinical psychology, I looked at those that came before me. So my grandfather, Dr. Orville Russell Walls from Oxford, Pennsylvania, Chester County, Kennett Square, he was a medical doctor. And went to Meharry Medical School in the 1920s, and he graduated on May 25th, 1933. And then my grandfather, excuse me, my father, he was a veterinarian, Dr. Orville R. Walls, and he graduated from Tuskegee Institute in 1969. So now growing up with these two African American men, both with these professional degrees during a time of high civil unrest and prejudice and racism, and all of this, here I come along and I'm like, all right, I want to be a doctor too because I know it's possible. It's in my family. But do I want to imitate the both of them or do I want to do something different? I'm already different because I'm a female. So, do I also want to be a different type of doctor? And the answer was yes. And I knew that I wanted to be the first female Dr. Walls in my family. Mission accomplished. Um, and so I said, all right, so from a legacy standpoint, I looked at what came before me and I utilized that information to ground myself and to stand on that. But then I also knew I had to create my own legacy, right? My own realities and be that voice, hope to be that voice of inspiration and encouragement and motivation and all of those things and words for people who were in my life now, but also those who would come after me, hence these types of videos, right? Because they may live on longer than I do and hopefully continue to inspire those beyond my physical existence. Um, but with that being said, I am a person that does not have any biological children. And with that reality, I realized that I was also a legacy finisher. All right. Because after me, there is no biological person to pass that genetic baton to. Right. So now I'm taking inventory of what is around me and what needs to be finished on this particular genetic line, right? What needs to be cleaned up on this genetic line. So when life is all said and done, and this era known as the Walls family, what was completed, what goes down in history, in true history, not in one that was made up, but what goes down in true history about this legacy known as the Walls family and this particular branch, right? Because there's other branches of the Walls family, but this particular branch. And it was a very real moment when I realized that the branch, the branch stops here. When they say the book stops here, right? The branch stops here. Now I have brothers and they have their own branch and their own legacy to tend to that, runs back to the tree trunk, which runs down into the roots of the Walls family. but my particular branch, right? I'm it. So with that, created another level of um, what shall I say? Seriousness, one, purpose, and being very clear that part of my purpose was to carry aspects of my history, my family history forward, but also purpose to make sure that I am fully living my life and leaving my mark, my footprint, the way that I want to, and infusing myself in this atmosphere and um, energetic field in the way that I want to, which is positive, which is loving, which is helpful, all of those things. That's what I want, right? That's what I want to be my legacy. That's what I want to leave, and that's how I want to interact with people. And so it kind of ties in to the previous video where I talked about learning about the importance of making sure that when it's all said and done, you are proud of the life that you live, and that you have accomplished and are on the path of accomplishing those things that you want to. And I don't say it in a gloom and doom type way. I just say it in a reality type way. At some point in life, we all make um, transitions. And so, whether that's transition from the physical realm or transition to another aspect, phase, and stage of life, that's just what happens with life. But making sure that you are living the way that you truly want to, not the facade, not in response to someone else's desires for your life, unless they're in alignment with your life, because it is your life and your legacy that you are leaving, and get clear on what it is that you want that to be. So that's and my thing is I always want it to be positive, and for you to be in alignment with it. And anything that I say to you, obviously, are things that I've said to myself. So that's what I'm sharing today about what I had learned that day. All right, I'll talk with y'all soon. Bye bye.